Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we're looking at What If Wolverine Led Alpha Flight from What If by Marvel Comics, number 59 from 1994. Early work by Bryan Hitch, Alan Davis clone at the time, bursting onto the scene. Can't wait to show it to you guys. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Hit like, and let's get right into it. Okay, anyone who watches my channel has to know I'm a huge John Byrne fan and also a huge Alpha Flight fan. This is years after Alpha Flight had been abandoned by series creator John Byrne and dismantled and destroyed. Dismantled by Bill Mantlo, writer, one of my favorite writers, Cloak and Dagger, other stuff, Micronauts. But for some reason, his Alpha Flight definitely does not represent the best of his writing. So anyway, it's always fun to see Alpha Flight, and I was super excited to see this. It's illustrated by Bryan Hitch, who would go on to fame with Mark Millar and Ultimates and become known for his very cinematic, highly detailed art. When he burst onto the scene, he was literally like pretty much an Alan Davis clone. I mean, this looks very much like Alan Davis's early art, and it's pretty shamelessly ripping him off. I mean, I hate to say it like in a negative way because I don't really have a problem with clones. I think a lot of comic book artists, I mean, I definitely think you should learn to draw not just from comic books, but a lot of artists do learn from comics. A lot of artists do emulate their favorite artists. And I feel like every single clone worth their salt, who shows a lot of promise and is kind of fun. Like, it's like, especially if it's a clone of an artist you love, like it's kind of fun to see another artist who kind of draws like another artist you love. Maybe it's like, there's only so many certain styles and some are going to be reminiscent of others. I mean, the influence is undeniable, but the good news is that most clones evolve and become amazing artists in their own right. So, this is from the 90s X-Men, and it's hard not to have like affection and nostalgia for 90s X-Men, even though it's a little bittersweet because it did mark the end of Chris Claremont's era, which is pretty much the end of the X-Men for me. I did continue on with like Scott Lobdell, and I did love like Joe Madureira, and there were certain moments, but let's face it, it was never the same after Claremont left. But we did have the fun 90s X-Men who would get their own cartoon, and that's probably all you're gonna think of when you see them, and like everyone is excited about their relaunch of their cartoon coming to Disney Plus, I guess, but I'm pretty excited about that too. It'll be fun. But also, Alan Davis is a little reminiscent of John Byrne in my eyes, so it's kind of fun to see someone who's influenced by Alan Davis, who has a slightly Byrne-esque quality to his art, draw Alpha Flight in a roundabout kind of convoluted way. But, like, I also have to hand it to Bryan Hitch. I feel like he might have, like, where am I seeing his art to begin with? I feel like maybe Marvel UK, like, I don't know, like, did he not draw Hulk a little bit? Anyway, Excalibur for sure. But I totally enjoy his work. I think, like, even if you are a clone of someone, like, he definitely has his own style. There are certain nuances and differences for sure. Simon Furman, writer, Bryan Hitch, pencils, Joe Rubinstein. I'm finally coming around to Joe Rubinstein as inker. Like, you can't deny his sort of credibility. He's still working today. He's a pretty amazing artist. I think he definitely meshed better on certain artists. Like, I think especially at this point in Bryan Hitch's career, he's definitely bringing a lot of great finishing and talent to the art. I wish this was bigger. I love Storm, and that looks cool, and I wish it were bigger and more detailed. But whatever. North Star, always fun to see North Star. I love the twins. I love Aurora and North Star, like my two favorites. It kind of annoys me that her costume isn't perfect. Like, where's the gold hoop holding that together? Although it's what if, so anything kind of goes. Like, it's never going to be, like, perfectly matched. What if? I always love the concept of what if. I mean, did you guys watch the What If cartoon on Disney Plus? I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was fun. I always like the concept of, you know, exploring different avenues in the Marvel Universe, like the consequences of in different outcomes. I mean, very Alan Davis face is popping up through here. This is his early work. I mean, this Wolverine obviously owes a lot to Barry Windsor-Smith's Weapon X. I think he definitely took Wolverine's crazy hair and made it even crazier. I mean, that's so Alan Davis right there. So he definitely is like an Alan Davis clone. Like, I feel like that's how Alan Davis was drawing Wolverine's mask at the time. But I love my Alpha Flights, so it is kind of fun to see them in here. And John Byrne just did his version of Wolverine's origin in his X-Men Elseman fan fiction that you can find for free under the fan fiction section of burnrobotics.com, in case you're wondering what I'm talking about. But I thought, just because I love Alpha Flight so much, they made a brief appearance because they are very much tied to Wolverine's origin. But I thought I'd love to see a few issues, or just one, of Wolverine like leading the Alpha team, or at least participating in one of their missions, because I don't think we got much of that, and we should. I mean, Alpha Flight are great characters. I love them. They're definitely underrated. I feel like Marvel is definitely sitting on a wasted opportunity, and they could definitely do for the Marvel Universe what Guardians of the Galaxy did in a heartbeat. This is a fun issue. This is great. I love it. Of course, the Hellfire Club. What's not to love about them? And just seeing kind of the potential for what Bryan Hitch would become. Like, he definitely has the chops, even if he is aping Alan Davis a little bit. Like, he definitely has, like, storytelling. He definitely has, like, his proportions and anatomy down. He is giving us a lot of detail. And I can see why, you can definitely, I love the zip here. I guess we owe that to Joe Rubenstein. And once again, Joe Rubenstein did a great job of inking this. So this is a classic issue. I wonder how aware of this people are. If not, you are totally aware of it now. I'm sure it's not too expensive if you look for it online. Great end page there. That is so cool. I love that. And it's funny because you definitely can see, like, a lot of the way this is done is very much telltale, like Joe Rubenstein kind of inking there, which I feel is a good thing. Anyway, fun issue. What if Wolverine had led the Alpha Flight? Thanks for watching. Share my content. Hit that like button. Subscribe. And I'll bring you more later. Bye.